through the eyes of the megaminds of our time. The Diagnosis, a pro analysis. Every Saturday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Relax Radio.
Hello and welcome back to your favorite radio station. You're listening to Relax Radio Beyond Frequencies, and this is, of course, The Diagnosis, a pro analysis, a show where we bring in white-collar professionals of different fields to talk about topics that are important, topics that need light to be shed on. So Diagnosis is a show where we give platforms to professionals to bring in their light and their information on important topics. And I know last week, Mika did steal the show again from me, and she did come in back and, tell me that she stole the show, but this is my show and ain't no way Mika getting it. I'm kidding, Mika. Well, Mika's really sweet and she's moving on to other endeavors, but you might be able to catch Mika here and there on the Diagnosis as well. But with that being said, today we have a very, very special guest with us today. That is Adhisha, and she is a pioneer when it comes to women entrepreneurship, and she is a blessing to us all. So I would like to gladly welcome Adhisha Dahanayake.
Thank you, and thank you for at your show.
Hello, Adhisha. How are you doing? I know you are very, very busy and you have a very busy schedule. How have life been treating you, Adhisha? How are you doing?
Well, I'm doing fine, but it's thank you. I hope you too. But these times are a bit challenging for everyone. But I think let's not talk about all the negative topics because I think we had enough all these years. So apart from all that, I'm keeping very well. I'm having a good weekend.
I mean, it is Saturday, so you must be chilling off and having a little bit of off time, apart from the interview, that is.
Yes.
So, Adhisha, before we do go into the topics and everything, I'd like to, introduce yourself to the audience. So, who is Adhisha? Why don't you tell our audience who Adhisha is?
Oh, okay. Adhisha. Well, Adhisha is actually from Kandy, and I started my studies in Kandy Good Shepherd Convent. And Adhisha actually came to Colombo 20 years ago, and then started Double XL brand. I'm the founder and director at first plus size brand in Sri Lanka. And after that, Adhisha actually started powerlifting, and then now I'm an actual powerlifter. I have one brother, younger, and my father and my mom. My father passed away in 2015, and my mom, she's a housewife. And so my school is Good Shepherd Convent Kandy, and I had a good childhood. I mean, lovely childhood, but now life is busy. But I'm moving on with all that.
You are a blessing to all the, let's say, young women out there, on young kids to basically aspire to be an entrepreneur or even a powerlifter. So touching on that, let's dive into the first question I have for you, right? So as someone who's enthusiastic about powerlifting, what was your driving force behind it? What got you into powerlifting?
Okay, so I would like to actually share all my true experience in this show because I think that's how I actually got into powerlifting, because I never wanted to start powerlifting. But as I mentioned earlier, my father died in 2015 after 5 years after I introduced the brand in Sri Lanka. And basically all what I wanted is just to avoid the reality, and wanted to just avoid wanted to I wanted to avoid the reality. Never wanted to move on, like knowing that my father is not with me. So I started doing a little bit of going out for retreat programs, and I was traveling a lot. And but again, like on my way back from, I think my last retreat, it was in Belgium, I think, and I went there, and on my way back I was just thinking like, um I mean, why I'm avoiding everything, and again I have to come back to the same point where I started. So I thought, like, this is not a really a retreat, so why don't you, find some strategies like within yourself. So that was the first question, actually. And then I came back to Sri Lanka, and then I spoke to my trainer at that time, at High Octane. That's my gym, and the gym that I started going in Colombo. So then I told him, like, this time I don't want to. Anyway, I'm not a person that who wants to lose weight. I don't do any fitness. I mean, any workout schedule to lose weight, but I like to just keep my strength. So I told him, this time I just want to change a little bit of my workout schedule, and I would like to do more with like kind of weight training,
Mhm.
with, like, with a little bit of heavy weights. So he said, yeah, let's try. And I can remember one day I went to this I went to training in the morning on a Saturday, and I was doing some bench press, and my captain, the powerlifting captain, he came, and actually he came and he said, like, Adisha, you're pushing a good weight. I mean, you're pulling a good weight. So why don't you like to participate this show? I mean, the powerlifting competition. So I thought, like, okay, why not? And then only I started powerlifting. I mean, training. But I wanted to first compete, like, at even at a competition, and I wanted to see, like, how it feels and how it will be, like, whether I can continue this sport or not. So I competed first, my first powerlifting competition on, I think that was in 2019 February. That was a national bench press meet,
Mhm.
and at that time I think I made a national record, that was 62.5 kilograms. So I think that was the start. Yeah.
Mhm. So achieving something of that degree obviously pushed you towards the basic, push you towards getting into powerlifting a little bit more and grow a passion for powerlifting, would you say?
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
So,
because it's something I really enjoy doing, and clearly I forgot about, like, I mean, it's not that I forgot about my father, but it's
mhm,
like clearly a good distraction, and also it was it is, and it was a good platform for me to rebuild myself, to
mhm.
refresh and to restart. So that's what I believe, and I always respect powerlifting, that sport, because it actually gives me a lot of discipline and a lot of strength, yeah.
Yeah, with that being said, the next question is also related to powerlifting. So, what advice would you give to those looking to get into powerlifting competitions?
Well, I think it's first of all, you have to love. I mean, I'm not. It's not, Aiden. It's not that I'm talking about only powerlifting, but since I'm doing powerlifting, yes, because I think it's almost 4 years now. I'm continuing this sport,
Mhm,
and most of them, most of the, I mean, women, they think, like, you have to face a lot of injuries, and so that is, of course, and they're really worried about the body shape, and
mhm,
it will, body shape to the age, and body, I mean, they're really worried about it, so that's why they really don't want to start. So they think, like, when you do powerlifting, when you start heavy weight training, then you will get like a muscular manly figure. And
mhm,
I mean, I'm plus size anyway. I mean, this is my body type. I'm like a yo-yo. Like, if I eat good food and if I go to the gym, I can lose pounds. But if I eat, like, and enjoy my life again, like, I gain weight. So I actually didn't. I don't care about it, and I just live my life, and I want to be happy, and I want to enjoy this journey. So apart from that, actually, I think it's not the case, because most of the women, they think powerlifting is, you have to have a big body to,
mhm,
big body to do powerlifting, start powerlifting. And it's not about that. Powerlifting is a mind game. It's all about your mindset. Because I mean, the best example is the recent competition we had, actually 2 weeks ago. So I wasn't ready for that meet, actually, because with all this, I mean, the chaotic situation in the country, and also what we are going through right now, I had to focus more in my business, and and I had to travel a lot last few months. So I was not really ready, but I wanted to. see, like, where I stand to. So I started training again with my coach,
Mhm.
and also the team was very supportive. And then I thought, like, okay, why not? I have good 1 month, let's train. So then I made my mind and I started training. So while I was training, because I am a power lifter who compete under 84 weight category, so my weight has to be 83.950 grams, so it has to be below 84.
Mhm.
So I was just doing my training like on like month. I mean, I started month ago, and then but the last week I was struggling losing some kilos because I had to lose weight before the meet.
Mhm.
So before 1 week before, it was 87.500 grams or 750 grams, if I'm not mistaken. And before 3 days a meet, it was like 85.500 something. So I had to lose like 3 kilos within 3 days. So
Mhm.
it was tough. It was tough. And and then my coach told me, he spoke to me and he said, like, do you still think you can compete under 84, or do you want to go in the next category? So I said no, because under 84 categories where I am very comfortable competing. So I told him,
Mhm.
no, I will somehow lose these 3 kilos and I will compete. So he said, okay, this is now it's all, it's now it's your work, because we have done proper training.
Mhm.
So now you have to lose weight. I mean, you have to lose at least 3 kilos, 3.5 kilos before the meet if you want to compete under this category, because that's a must. You have to maintain that weight. That if you are competing in that weight class, you have to. It's a must. So I then he gave me a diet chart just to cut down carbohydrates, and and then no food, like I was cutting down water all these 3 days. And while I was doing my meetings to all these recruitments and all these interviews or whatever, right? I mean, I was living my going through the daily routine, but in the meantime, I had to compromise this. But I actually didn't. I really wanted that. I wanted that to. I mean, because that's a commitment you have, right? And that's the challenge you give it to yourself, to lose your weight and somehow compete under 84 weight category. So especially at this kind of a challenging time, and giving a challenge to yourself is just next level, right? Because it's like too much, it's too heavy, it's too much to absorb. So then I somehow managed it. And before the meet, when before I go to the competition, I went to the gym and I checked, it was like 83.950 grams, right? So we made it, like, even at the competition, it was like somehow we made it like 83.950. So it was below 84, and then I competed and I won, like, the gold medal, and with two national records. So
That's
that's why
impressive.
yeah. So sorry.
That is impressive. I said kudos to you for making something impossible come true.
Yes, actually, it's like it's not the that's what that's what after that I actually felt it, like, I mean, every stage you learn, right? Because it was before, it was like how much I'm going to pull, but this time it was like how I have to lose 3 kilos and then I have to do the same performance, right? I have to,
Yeah.
because when you go to that platform, it's like, it's not that you're training at the gym, it's a different I mean, situation altogether, right? Because it's too much of pressure. People are, like, screaming, and you have to go, and people are watching you, and you're wearing that singlet, and it's not the same. The pressure is, it's different. But thank God, like, I had my good playlist, and also a very supportive powerlifting team, and also my coach, and and I made it. So that's what I call this more than it's not about your strength, it's about your mindset, this game. So yeah.
A mental game basically where you have to be mentally strong to pursue what you want to do and take on that challenge and still keep going. And like what you did, you're living proof that you can do it if you set your mind to it and focus on it.
Yeah, thanks. Yes, it is. Yeah, it's a mind game. Yeah.
Yeah, with that being said, the next question, you kind of did touch on this question when you were talking about, why women might not take part in powerlifting. Like you said, it is because, some women think it is a manly sport and it will turn them into, having muscular bodies and they will look more masculine, or it is, too hard for them. So like you said, these could be the reasons that a majority of women are not getting into powerlifting. But what do you think that we as a society or even other powerlifters out there should do to appeal to other women that, powerlifting could be a woman's sport and it could be something that, women could also get into?
Well, yeah, because I recently, you clearly like can see like a lot of women are into, they like to participate in, this sport. They like to train, and because I can see a lot of even at the recent meet, it was amazing. Like it was amazing to see like how many women powerlifters are like competing. So
Mhm.
I think as a society, it's all about like we should not like judge a person. End of the day, like let them do whatever they like to do. I mean, if they like to choose powerlifting, let them do. And if they like to play karate or like whatever, like boxing or whatever, just do that, right? So
Mhm.
as a society, I think we should not judge anyone. So
Yeah.
that is number one. And then the number two is like I think powerlifting actually brings a lot of discipline and a lot of strength
Mhm.
and power to our lives. So I think we should encourage a lot of women, and also especially like in schools, like there are a lot of young talent. We have to, I think, do like more awareness program about this sport. So I think those are the things that we have to mainly focus, because there are a lot of women who likes to do this sport, but they don't have facilities, like so I've met like really good powerlifters, women powerlifters during these events, during these competitions, but they don't have enough support circle, I would say. So yeah, those are the main reasons.
Yeah. So touching on to your entrepreneurial side of your life, that important side of your life that also plays a huge part, right? But before we do get into that, would you say that, you being a power lifter, that is also something that you are passionate about, right?
Yeah.
Powerlifting, the competition, the sport. Would you say that clashes with your everyday life and you being an entrepreneur and running a very successful business? Is there a clash? Is there a difficulty for you personally?
No, there's no clash. I mean, definitely, actually, powerlifting helping me to be strong and make my decisions clear. So I think it has a very positive impact. I would say it's not. I totally can balance that,
Mhm.
because we have like 24 hours per day, and like
Mhm.
definitely we can just balance our time.
Mhm.
And as I mentioned earlier, we are living in a world like very challenging, especially like in Sri Lanka. It's very challenging at the moment, and also very competitive. So
Mhm.
when let's take a business, like it's like you have a lot of competition. I mean, every day things. I mean, blink of an eye, things are changing. In business world. So to make the right decisions, to be fit and strong, and to face a challenge, this sport is amazing. This is helping me.
Mhm.
This is helping me clearly.
Because
It's not.
we are in a day and age where people bring up excuses saying, yeah, my day is fully packed, I have a lot going on, I have a lot on my plate, I don't even have time to go to the gym. So you clearly are thriving with a very extremely successful business all across the country, and you are also a very successful powerlifter. So you are an example for others, showing that, yeah, you can get into a high intense sport, still enjoy both of that, be passionate about both of that, and have a entirely well circulated life.
Yeah, because you have to enjoy what you're doing. When you love what you do and when you enjoy, like because it's not, and the thing is, it's not easy always to balance. Okay, trust me, like recently I even with my training, like I was just at this event, and then I had to speak to my coach, and I told him like, come on, I think like I'm gonna be late, or can you just give me some other slot tomorrow? And then he told me, if you can't come today, that means you can't go to the competition. So if you can come now, just do your training and go to the competition. Otherwise you can just leave
Mhm.
it aside. So this is what discipline, this is how discipline bring, the sports bring discipline into your life. So I think these things are like, I don't know, priceless for me, because being entrepreneur, I know I'm busy like morning to evening, because I have my phone like with me all the time, and it's a busy schedule, and I have to lead a team. I have to talk to people. I have to networking. So it's everything. But apart from everything, I always like to give that 1 hour, 2 hours, like, for my training, because it gives me a different level of energy. So I don't want to miss that.
Yeah, so you would say that it brings in additional touch of discipline, and it
Yeah.
also helps you well round out your life. So it is something that is very, very important to you.
Yes, it is. It's very important.
Yeah, with that being said, let's move on into our other set of questions. So anyone can become an entrepreneur, right? So what are the key elements that you have incorporated into your journey that made you stand out from the crowd? Because once again, you are a revolutionary person when it comes to the women in the country, right? Because you are very successful at what you do.
Yeah, well, I think that purely because Double XL itself, I mean, we introduced first plus size brand in Sri Lanka, right? So uh, we came up with a different strategy, different business models, so different product. So I think that is the difference. I think I would say when it comes to when it comes to brand Double XL.
Mhm,
Um, because we never wanted to follow anyone. We came up with a new strategy and new business, new model. So uh, because purely because I couldn't find sizes for myself. So this brand is very personal. This business is very personal. I had a very bad worst experience. Those days when I was choosing clothes for myself
mhm,
when I was like doing some shopping and all that. So
mhm,
clearly, because I think that is the difference, because we stand tall because we introduce a different segment.
mhm,
So it's
mhm,
a niche market, and we have very small, segment. But again, like it's different. It's different product, because we know, no one has done that before. And in 2010, when we introduced, like, nobody was aware of this plus size so clothes. A brand in Sri
yeah.
Lanka. So and also from the beginning when we started, like I purely, and me and my team, we just wanted to stick with the initial plan, which is like we are catering only for plus size people. Whether so everyone was like, Adisha, because like startups all the time, like every two, when you start a business, like it's the first 2 years will be very hard, right? And so we were going through the same. So I can remember one time a few of our friends, like, they told us, they told me, Adisha, you have to put other sizes, small sizes also, because otherwise your um, this the cash flows are, you have to bring some revenues, it's not a healthy cash flow. But
Mhm,
I'm so glad that we didn't do that, because we wanted to stick to the original plan. We wanted to give a very comfortable clothing, comfortable shopping experience to our customers. So we wanted to be the first plus size brand in Sri Lanka who cater only to plus size customers.
mhm.
So I think that's the difference. So yeah.
So you being in, in the 2010s were a time where plus size and recognition for plus size people in general weren't very available, I'd say, across the world. So bringing that into Sri Lanka in such a time was, of course, a driving force, and it did become a huge impact on your success. With that being said, let's go into a very cliche but a personal question, I'd say. Describe what double XL means to you.
Oh, double XL. As I mentioned, it's very personal. I love my brand. You should not love. But again, I know it's a business, but this brand is very, very personal. When I wake up in the morning, I'm like, I would like to jump out of the bed, then I would like to go to work, and I like to meet my work colleagues, and also my team, and would like to design something new. And I always like look forward to do something extra, something different. So why this is very personal is because the story behind the brand is because as I mentioned earlier, my body is a yo-yo. It's more of like a yo-yo, because it's like always like, if I eat good, then I can maintain my weight. If I eat, I mean, good food, I mean, like, all the junk food, it's like always like, few more, I mean, it add to at least 20 or 10 pounds. So then and also in the meantime, I never, I mean, I was a healthy person, but I don't know, my body shape was crazy.
Mhm.
So I can remember one that was before, I think 2009 or 2008, 2009, if I'm not mistaken. I was doing this shopping and I wanted to buy a pair of jeans. And I went to the store, and there's a salesperson, and she was a little loud. She said, "We don't." As soon as I entered, she said, "We don't have your size." And I felt bad. It was too loud, and then I told her, I told her, this is not, I'm not buying for me. I'm buying for one of my friends. And then she said, said again, like, "No, we don't have your size. Your stomach is, And she started explaining, which I really don't want to say it loud. So I felt really bad, and I actually wanted to cry, And on my way back to the vehicle, I was just thinking, why it's me all the time, And at that time, I was going through a little bit of depression, and I was thinking, like, just imagine, like, if you go to a shop, and, like, and you can't find I mean, beautiful dress, or, like, a product to yourself. Just imagine the feeling, you feel really, I don't know, for me, I felt like I'm left out, and I felt very insecure, right?
Mhm.
So on my way back to the vehicle, I was just thinking, and the same, on not maybe the same day, or like maybe after 2 days, we had a small gathering at our place, at our home, and then we were just talking about this, and I just threw my idea, and then everyone was like, "Wow, that's a great idea, so why not?" And then one of my cousin brothers told me, like, "Okay, why can't you name it as Double XL?" So that's
Mhm.
how Double XL name came into as a brand. So that was the first start. And during that period, I went through a lot. So I don't want anyone to go through the same pain,
Mhm.
that same hurt, that, So that's why when we have Double XL, it's for all the big people, chubby people, who like to celebrate their size. So that concept will lead the
Mhm.
brand. And yeah, so Double XL means everything to Adisha.
So, like you said, it is societal view that needs to change, right? Because no matter what body size you are, shape you are, it is perfectly fine. As long as you are happy with who you are, and you are happy with your true self, nobody else gets to have a say in your life, right? And
Yeah.
like you told that salesperson that day, I know she might have hurt you and she might have been a negative impact for you, but she also did kind of drive you towards creating Double XL. So either, although she was a very close-minded person, she kind of helped you. So like I say, I always say, every experience in life has a meaning. Everything you go through has a deep meaning. So it's probably one of those times that led you to become a very, very successful person. With that
Yeah.
being said, we'll be heading into a short commercial break, but don't worry, we have Adhisha Dahanayake coming your way with more details and more on how she created Double XL and her life story, basically. So if you want to be a part of the show, all you got to do is dial up 078 52 473 473. Once again, the number is 078 52 473 473. And make sure you do download the Relax Radio app, available completely for free on the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, to make sure you get a smooth listening experience with Relax. And with that being said, let's head into a commercial break.
Through the eyes of the megaminds of our time. The diagnosis. A pro analysis. Every Saturday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Relax Radio. through the eyes of the megaminds of our time. The Diagnosis, a pro analysis. Every Saturday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Relax Radio.
Welcome back to the Diagnosis, a pro analysis only on Relax Radio. And today we have a very, very special guest, Adhisha Dahanayake, founder of Double XL and former powerlifter, not former powerlifter, that is purely my mistake, powerlifter who is currently crushing records. And Adhisha and I were talking about, the basic story behind Double XL and her, what inspired her to start Double XL and everything in between. So without straying far from the topic, I'd like to get back into it. So Adhisha was telling me basically the story behind Double XL, right, Adhisha?
Yes, yes.
And touching on that, so you told me a very bad experience you had with a salesperson in a store you went to also kind of inspired you to start off the brand, and how the brand is very personal to you and it's kind of like your baby at this point. So touching on that, I'd like to ask you, what does body positivity mean to you? Because we are in a day and age where there are so many definitions when it comes to body positivity, and people say a lot of different things, and body positivity term is also associated with a bit of toxicity, right? Because I think it has strayed away from what actually it represents. So what does body positivity mean to you?
Well, the body positivity is actually just love yourself, just be yourself, love yourself. And it's like respect yourself,
Mhm,
basically. Because I have been there, I mean, as I mentioned earlier, it was a lot for me to absorb, before we started this brand.
mhm,
But after we started this brand, Double XL, and after I, got to know, like, more stories, then I thought, like, wow. So we have
mhm,
done like amazing job, like, and we have passed amazing message to the society,
mhm,
bringing this brand and introducing this brand and the product. Because it I mean, most of the women, and I mean, I don't like to say women, I think men and women both,
mhm,
because we cater to both men and women.
mhm,
And because I heard all the stories, like both the stories, I mean, men and women both,
mhm,
I mean, when it comes to like plus size, I've
mhm,
seen and I've heard. So most of the time, uh, they really don't like to accept themselves,
mhm,
so you have to accept yourself. You have a color, you have a shape, you have a I mean, come on, we have everything we want sometimes, but we really worried about like our body shape, right? And maybe maybe color, maybe the skin color, whatever it is. But I know I have recently I've met one of my friends, actually, and she's really worried about her body, right? And she was complaining me like all the time. And because she used to be very thin, and then she started gaining her weight.
mhm,
And she was complaining, and then she started like, push herself too much, to do like training and her diet. She changed her diet and everything, and then she started getting unhealthy, mentally and physically both, right? Then I actually felt very sorry, because knowing her, and because she's a very powerful, strong woman, and I know she's very capable woman. Um, but it's purely because of the society, and people sometimes don't know how to. They just, they sometimes when they crack a joke, they really don't mean it. But again, like, you really don't know what that person's mentality, the state, I mean, mental state. Because sometimes I mean, because I know her, but she, after she started, like, going through a really a, I mean, because I clearly I can feel that, because I had last a phone conversation also with her uh, before she went to this retreat program. And she was going through a lot because of this, because she was bullying, basically, because of her because of her body shape. So and again, like just imagine, like if you have to go through like every day and with your same circle, I don't think it's healthy.
Mhm.
So for me, I think I mean, my advice is, I mean, what I think in my perspective is like, just be yourself and love yourself, and accept yourself, right? And the thing is, most of the men and women, they think like, we have to maintain a certain like a number, a size label, or which is not right. Just
Mhm.
do fashion for your body type, body shape, right? Don't stick to like number 8, number 16, no number. Those are just numbers, because purely those, actually those numbers are because it's easy for us to do the production.
Mhm.
That's purely, those numbers are for the production, not for, because I know, I mean, there are people who likes to wear, like, if you're not size 8, they really want to, somehow they want to buy size 8. They don't
Mhm.
want to, they don't like to buy like 12 or 10 or 14. So then they feel like, oh my god, I have, like, put on, I don't want to eat, I'm not, I'm gonna go for a very strict diet. And then you start and mentally you're abusing, because come on, just like, it's just like 1 or 2 kilos. You can, clearly you can do like more cardio, and like, less, maybe less carbohydrate intake, you can lose your whatever the kilos, right? You gain.
Yeah.
But they really punish themselves.
Mhm.
I've met a lot of people, they go through really hard times, and also they push themselves, and then they don't respect themselves again,
Mhm.
right? So, which is leading to a very bad stage.
Mhm.
So yeah, but for me, I think body positivity for me is like accepting yourself
Mhm.
and be happy,
Mhm.
and just do your fashion, or I mean, live your life, like, yeah.
So it is great to see that, like you said, there is so much toxicity that is pushed forward from society itself, bullying and discrimination against people who are plus size. So when you came up with something like double XLs, it shows acceptance to the people, and it brings out that positive message saying, hey, it's okay to be plus size. It's okay to be a little bit bigger than us, a regular person. So it is giving out that message of self acceptance.
Yeah, and also, Aiden, one more thing I want to add, like, I mean, there are no sizes, like, this is my body, this is me. So why this small size, petite, plus size? Actually, you really don't need those words, right?
True. Very,
why,
very.
why I mean, we don't call, I mean, like, okay, if I have a dark skin, you don't call me dark Adisha, right?
Very
If
true.
you have fair skin, I don't say like fair Aiden,
Mhm.
right? So,
Yes.
why we are categorizing this? So this is the thing. So that's why, like, double XL, purely we want to send this message across. We would like to see everybody treat equally in the society. Everybody means every body type,
Mhm.
right?
Very true. Very
Do
true.
that, right? Because why is that? I mean, why we are categorizing, why we are labeling people for what? So we
It
have to
has
stop this,
it has
right?
come to a point where everybody is labeled with any sort of label, right? Regardless of a body type or otherwise, people are just loving labels and they're sticking into labels when it comes to a lot of things. So labeling someone plus sized or labeling someone petite, small, or sizes, like you said, size 0, when we have size 10, size 7. And these are very toxic terms. And we should just stick to being human beings and allowing human beings to be themselves without categorizing them.
Yeah, yeah, that's why. Because I think that is what clearly we do. Because I can remember, like, from the day we started, let's say, like, we started 2010. Yeah, in 2010, people never wanted to. My customers, they used to come to the store, but they used to stay in the vehicle because they never wanted to come outside. Even they wanted to come inside the store because they didn't want to see them inside the store because they were very insecure,
Mhm.
right? This is long time ago, 2010, when we started, right?
Mhm.
They wanted us to bring clothes to the vehicle, right? So we had to do that. We did
Mhm.
that. So
Mhm.
it was very hard for us to change from the beginning. It was so hard for us to break this
Mhm.
stigma, from the beginning. But
So,
now they when they come in, they dance. They because one thing I like is like our customers are they are very fun, and they just do their shopping and they just come and they laugh and they talk, they sing, they dance. So now they're celebrating, right? So
yeah.
that's something, yeah, that's something beautiful to see. They're beautiful to watch because I never want to repeat the
Hmm.
experience I had.
Hmm.
Hope it
Very, very
would
true.
never repeat.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm. With that being said, like it is very important to sometimes people who are going through the same struggles, they don't accept themselves. That's why, like you said, some of your customers didn't even want to come inside the store because they didn't want to be in a store where it is catered towards plus size models. So it is nice to see that, like you said, now there is a huge change and you have customers coming in who are dancing and enjoying and having a nice shopping experience.
Yeah, and also I can see like clearly a lot of brands are following us now. They have introduced plus size, and and also they've included like into their clothing or collection. So which is, I mean, lovely to see. That means like we are breaking it.
Mhm.
So it's good.
Mhm.
It's good. Yeah.
So, Double XL being Sri Lanka's one of the first, business to introduce plus size clothing, could you describe the representation of plus size models by Double XL?
Oh, this is a very tricky question because when we started this, we never had any plus size models in Sri Lanka. And actually, we didn't introduce any professional plus size models because we were, into this business and we wanted to find some good, I mean, models to showcase our product. So then we thought of like, to talk to an agent, and we did, but we couldn't find any plus size models at that time. So then we spoke to a few of our customers, and so then we thought like I told my team like this is not this we use only real women and men, okay, for our campaign. So let's start with that. So that's how
True.
we started.
Mhm. So you brought in actual customers, people you saw who were, your customers and others who were actually plus size and not professional models. Now, see,
Not perfect.
that is a very huge milestone, I'd say, especially for a business in Sri Lanka that started in 2010. Because nowadays, body positivity is a term that is thrown out there, and everyone is talking about, accepting everyone for whoever they are. But to start way back and to actually include common people who are not professional models, that is amazing. That is amazing. So kudos to you, Adisha. You are killing it. You're killing it.
Thank you. It was again like finding a solution for a problem, because we could find models, plus size models, and then we spoke to our customers and who are real men and women,
Mhm.
and yeah, so we did amazing campaigns from the beginning. And
Mhm.
now I can see a lot of agencies that they have a lot of plus size bottles, and like because people have started, and which is good to see. I
Mhm.
mean, include them,
Yeah,
include them, have them.
it's good to see representation. Back in the day, maybe someone who was plus size or someone who was a little bit bigger would not even consider modeling because they were not accepted in the modeling industry, or they themselves didn't think, I am cut out to be a model.
Yeah, yeah, because it's not only like you can't, I mean, again, it's like you're accepting yourself. Society is asking you to accept yourself, and again, like they're judging,
Mhm. Mhm.
right? So that's what is happening, right?
Yeah, it's very contradictory.
Yeah, right. So and again, model agencies like they provide only like size 8, 6, 10
Mhm.
models, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So and for us also, I can remember one time when we really wanted a model, and then when we contacted these people like model agency, and they were like, okay, so they sent us few profiles, and
Mhm.
when we went through, I told them like, no, we need real plus size men and women,
Mhm.
right? Because we have to showcase our real product, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So yeah, so and then we managed it, and now we have our models,
Mhm.
and everyone is using now plus size models. So it's
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
glad to see that change,
Yeah.
positive change.
It is
Yeah,
good to see something actually moving forward rather than going backwards, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
With that
Yeah.
being said, let's head on into the next question I have for you. And that is, apart from achieving representation for body positivity, what
Yeah.
other goals do you hope to achieve from Double XL?
Well, apart from that, that is the clear message that we wanted to send it across. I think we are doing it in Sri Lanka. So
Hmm.
actually, our goal is to somehow make it global and send the same message. Uh, we would like to pitch our brand in global. So that is what we are really working on at the moment, especially with the crisis that we are going through at the moment, and also the last few years were not that. It was, I mean, I can't say not that great. I'm so grateful for every day, but that was not really helping us, like, for retailers, because we were going through a bit of a hard period. So yeah, I think that is the clear message that we want. But I think more than now, as I mentioned earlier, Aiden, like we had a tough time to introducing this brand
Hmm.
last couple like when we started. So
Yeah.
after 5, you should see, right, those days, like everybody wanted to wear like all these dark colors, dark shades, like,
Hmm.
very neutral colors. And but now people are changing, and the customers want like huge prints to different pastel shades, and like all these beautiful prints, floral prints to everything. So now they like to do like more fashion, and it's something amazing to see.
Hmm.
So I think what we want is, like, we would like to introduce more fashionable I mean, collections, and we want to do more collections under double XL. And also we recently introduced our active range for plus size body type, DXL active. And also we introduced a teenage collection called
Hmm.
DXL teenage. Yeah, DXL teen collection. So like that, we just want to introduce new collections. And yeah, I have more in my bucket, like bucket list. I will slowly, I mean, not with this situation, but clearly we will make it work. With,
Yeah. Good to see Double XL coming with a bang and, going to take over the world with a storm.
yeah, thank you, Eden. Yeah, we have a lot to do, but yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, you've come a really, really long way. So I won't be surprised. It is going to be big. I know Double XL is going to be out there very, very soon. With that being said, let's head into a little bit of a, kind of deeper question. I mean, you did touch on this in the previous questions as well. But if you had a chance, to talk to a body shamer yourself, what would your message be to them? Like directly look them in the eye and tell them, what would you tell them?
Okay. Actually, I don't tell them anything, but I actually adjust myself, because I don't want to listen to all these negative things,
Hmm.
right? And because there's a freedom of speech also. So, but I know, like, I mean, nonsense, you can't, like, really talk negative about anyone, right?
Yeah, but if you had like a chance to like educate them also, be like, hey,
Yeah,
this is
then
okay.
I mean, it's like this. Educate them in the sense, I mean, that is actually the attitude and how they behave, right? That I don't know how can I educate them
Mhm.
in that way. I mean, it's going to be a little tough, right? But what I want to tell, but my message to the society is like,
Mhm.
don't try to I mean, you can say good things about someone, like, when you meet, but why it's negative all the time?
True.
Because when you meet someone, even like I mean, I go to the gym every day, but I want to lose weight. I
Mhm.
go to the gym, I have different reasons to go, because I want to be fit, I want to be strong, I am doing powerlifting,
Mhm.
right? um, but they don't know like what I'm going through, but they have some, they judge me,
Mhm.
so even from me, people ask, Adisha, you go to the gym every day, but I can't see that you're losing weight. So
Mhm.
those days I used to be like, because those days actually I have this issue with, because there are some issues when it comes to, like, I mean, medicate, it could be medication issue, right? It could be some issue that you're
Mhm.
going through. How do you know that person?
Mhm.
So before you make a comment, like, just think twice whether this is gonna, get hurt, or am I motivating this person to do better, or am I demotivating this person? Right. So I can remember like those days when I before I started powerlifting, I can remember people, Adhisha, okay, so you go to the gym every day, but I can't see that you're losing weight. So those days I actually affected. So I felt bad, and I was like, I go to the gym and I talk to my trainer, and I'm like, why I'm not losing weight? Right. I was okay. Let me cut down some carbohydrate. Let me do some, some more running, So I pushed myself. Right.
Mhm.
And that was really bad. But now when I ask, when they tell me, oh, you go to the gym and you are not losing it, I'm like, haha, so funny. Like, I'm a power lifter, like, and then I do this and I do that, and I'm a national record holder. So I have so many things to say. Right.
Mhm.
I turn back and I'm like, wow, so you're good. Like, I mean that is what you have to have your own power.
Mhm.
Right. It's not about the society, it's not about the person who's next to you, it's not about even it actually could come from your family.
Mhm.
Right. Because sometimes family, they really don't know what they're doing, but they do. So like, they're like, yeah, seriously, sometimes they have these comments like, in the morning, oh my god, this dress is too tight to you, right? So you
Mhm.
think that you have gained weight? Oh my god, you have to like cut down your carbohydrate, you have to cut down your rice intake or something. Come on. Right. We all are like, we have our choices, we have our, this is our life, right? So I know what best for me, so let me live my life, right? So society has I think it's a huge responsibility. When you meet someone in the morning, instead of talking about her body shape or her skin color, you
Mhm.
can talk about something good, something beautiful, right?
Something
So
positive.
something positive, so that's how you can make a change in the society, right? So why can't you do that? Right. Why it's always negative? So this is the problem in Sri Lanka. When you see, and sometimes they're like, okay, when you see someone like it, this has happened to me also, like, okay, Adisha, so you have gained weight, and then and if you're not married, oh my god, you're looking someone, you're seeing someone. Oh, okay. So explain. So why we need to explain?
Mhm.
Right. And if you have some dark skin, they're like, oh my god, like your skin is dark, getting dark, right? And are you using any cream or any lotion, or are you consulting a doctor? No, I'm not. Don't worry about me. Right.
Mhm.
Just let it go. Right. I
Mhm.
have my choice. I have my choices, and I let me live my life. Right.
True.
So I think it's more than the society. I think it's you. You have to be very firm, and you have to be very straightforward. If they ask something, if they comment, then you can right away you can tell, like, this is me and my life, and I'm making my choices.
True.
Right. If I want to be size 20, again it's me and happy me. And if I
Mhm.
want to lose weight, again it's me and happy me. So that's totally, it's under my control. It's not your comment. Right.
Sometimes
So
you have to just tell them, it's my life. I know what I'm doing. I didn't ask for your opinion, so just
yeah.
keep it to yourself.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
with that being said, let's head back into the next question because we only have a couple of minutes left on the show. And this is a really important question that I'd like to touch on. So, you were the women entrepreneur of 2021, right? So, did becoming the women entrepreneur of 2021 add more pressure and expectations about you for yourself?
Well, I recently won that. Like, I have to be very
Mhm.
thankful to Women in Management for that award.
Mhm.
So honored, actually. Actually, I didn't know pressure. I would say I've learned a lot, and it motivated me. It really motivated me to achieve more, elevate more, to grow more,
Mhm.
and also to help a lot of women.
Mhm.
So I think I started doing a lot of webinars, and I started, like, doing a lot of workshops.
Mhm.
And I met a lot of young entrepreneurs, and I think I started I started sharing about my experience. So it's not pressure, actually. It
So,
really elevated me. It really gave me a motivation to do more, try more. Yes.
So it was more of a positive outcome than rather than you thinking,
Very
you
positive. Yes.
you thinking, oh, I got an award. Now I just do something next. What am I going to do next? What am I going to
Yes.
do next?
Yes.
Other than that, you were like, okay, I have gotten an award. So I'm going to educate others, help others learn something from this.
Yeah. So I clearly enjoyed that evening, because it's like someone is appreciating your work,
Mhm,
almost like 12 years hard work, because I know I'm a hard worker. So in the room, so I mean, that was amazing, that award. Like, it really helped me, it motivated me. I mean, I don't know, it's just and it really actually gave me a different, I would say, like, different strength, different energy to try
mhm,
more. Yeah.
mhm. So, with that being said, let's move on into the last question we have for you today. And that
Yeah.
is, any advice that you would give to upcoming entrepreneurs?
Yeah. So I would say just be yourself. That is
Mhm,
very important,
mhm,
right? Because all these years, I mean, you can't lie to yourself, and be original, be authentic, and always do the right thing. And and also, one thing is, like, you have to choose what you're passionate about,
mhm,
because then you don't feel that you're working. You
mhm,
really don't feel like you're working. It's like you're chasing your dream, and for me, I think that's why I always, as I told you, like, anytime, if I feel like, okay, I'm going to the shop now, I'm going to work or whatever it is, like, I don't mind doing that, because I really enjoy doing that. That's number one. And number two, I would say, um I mean, just think something different. Don't try to copy, or don't try to do the copy some same business model or a product, or just do something different. Come up with your own solutions. Or because most of the time people like to copy, and they just like to do it better. I mean, that's okay, but again, like, it's beautiful to have your own business, different thinking.
mhm,
So try to think different. And the last, I would say, it's just, everyone think entrepreneur being an entrepreneur is easy. No, it's little, it's very lonely. Sometimes it's your laptop and your dreams, and when you close the door, it's your laptop, your dream, and yourself. It's
mhm,
not easy. If you think it's easy, it's not easy.
mhm,
It's
mhm.
very challenging, but it's beautiful. The
Mhm.
journey is amazing, right?
Yeah.
So what you have to do is, you have to give your 100%.
Mhm,
If you can't give 100%, don't even think about it, being an
mhm,
entrepreneur, because it's very tough. It's
mhm,
very competitive,
mhm.
and yeah. So those are the three advices, I would say. Yeah.
With that being said, that's all we have for the show today. But we have the wonderful Adhisha Dahanayake, and she was amazing. Let me tell you, Adhisha, this was one of those interviews that I enjoyed really, really a lot. So thank you for being on the show. I know you have a very, very busy schedule. Thank you for being a part of the show, and I'm pretty sure our audience would have learned a lot, not only about body positivity and double XL alone, about even getting into powerlifting or even becoming an entrepreneur. So this was, I would say, a very, very productive interview. So thank you so much for being a part of the show, Adisha.
Thank you so much, Aiden, for having me. I wish you all the best.
Thank you. And with that being said, that's all we have for the show today. But don't worry, we will be coming back on another show this next Saturday. That is. Until then, this is me, Aiden Smith. Say my bye-byes. And yeah, don't forget to be unapologetically you.
Through the eyes of the megaminds of our time. The diagnosis. A pro analysis. Every Saturday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Relax Radio.